Hey everyone. So it is Friday. I hate devices. All right. It is Friday, July 12th. Yes. I caught nothing strange about the numbers today. But in Los Angeles today, we have an excessive heat advisory. Temperatures may exceed up to 104 degrees. Currently, right now, it is 74 degrees, allegedly. Did I tell you guys 5G was up again? Anyway, that's not the topic of this video. So I just really want to share a little bit about astral projection. And I wish that, I was home a lot more. I wish I had like a computer program where I could actually animate these. They're like partial channeled messages and partial my theory. Because I don't have any evidence that these are, higher truths. I just trust what I say and have faith in the journey. And I continue not to doubt myself. Because I think there's times where we get into doubt and we can manifest obstacles on accident because we're in doubt. There was one time I posted a video, Spirit of Doubt. And I think that one really brought a lot of people together. It really showed a lot of vulnerability on my channel. But astral projection. What's interesting is I was watching. You guys have to watch this. If you have Hulu, please watch the Sailor Moon Crystal. It's the reboot of the original Sailor Moon series. They use the same characters, same storyline, but they focus more on the power and the ability inside of each and every one of us. They don't embarrass Usagi. They don't embarrass her too much. They don't make her look like a dumb blonde. Even though I did like that character at the very beginning. But right now I'm watching season 2. And it's kind of interesting because it parallels exactly what I believe is happening right now. So there's this dark moon, right? In the series, in the cartoon. And the dark moon came out of the woodwork because Usagi has a daughter named Chibiusa. We know her as Rini, the pink-haired, rabbit-eared, And then Usagi, who is, we know her as Serena in English. Basically, there's a loophole where these characters came from the future to, they wanted to capture, the pink hair character because she traveled through time. She went in the past. Something happened in the future. She came to the past to edit something and fix it. And so she kept secrets, blah, 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 blah. Here comes these people from this dark moon. They find out, who they are. And so they captured like most of the Sailor Guardians and they transported their bodies to the future. So long story short, this is cool. Keep watching, keep listening. So they, what is wrong with my lighting? Basically, it's Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, Tuxedo Mask, and the two cats, Luna and Artemis. And they have to get their friends who are in some other astral plane somewhere in the future. Well, they didn't know that until Rini or Chibiusa basically used the key to travel through time to go to the future. Now they're battling these shadow people from this dark moon. But what's weird is the dark moon, they named it Nemesis. And I was like, oh. That's like a channeling that I had a few weeks ago, or a message I said here on YouTube a few weeks ago. And it's fascinating because I never watched this episode before, or never seen this series, never seen this reboot, ever, 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 ever. So as I'm watching this reboot, I'm getting triggered by so many things that I've said, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. It's almost like, a spoiler alert without, really saying or watching anything. Excuse me. Uh-oh, there goes my channeling hiccups. So long story short, there's Prince Endymion, who is Tuxedo Mask in the future, right? So the future and the present are trying to figure out what to do to get rid of these bad guys that are from this dark moon nemesis. And so what's weird is the younger daughter, Chibiusa, wants to embrace her father, but she can't touch him. And she asks why, and he said, I'm an astral projection because currently I'm unconscious. My body is kept and held somewhere else. So it's quite fascinating that there's like this little, I think it's what they call it in the Bible is a bridal chamber. Or in the Book of Solomon, they talk about the bridal chamber, which we kind of really don't know what that means. A lot of people think they know, but they really don't know what that means. A lot of people mistakenly come up with their own resolutions with that. But long story short, he's astral projected. And I was like, ooh, that's going to be my next topic for YouTube, astral projection. Don't worry, this won't be a long video. I actually had an astral projection 2 nights ago. And I have this thing, and I'm trying to figure it out, where I keep going to a certain timeline in the future, and I'm doing something on a ship. And then I come back, and I wake up. I'm so exhausted and tired when I wake up. You guys can probably see, well, my face is glowing today. Ha ha ha. But usually by the end of the day, I'm pooped because I teach exercise. I do the exercise with everybody 3 times a day. Groups of 30 people at a time, and I'm getting messages at the same time. And then I'm running errands and paying bills, going to the doctor, washing the car, doing laundry. So it's so much stuff. It's like but when I go home, I just want to relax. And what happens, I astral project to a timeline I don't know of, or I keep going back to the same era. So we were doing this work where we're on zip lines and pulleys, I guess because everything came off of the ground and everything was in the air. There was 0 gravity, so people really couldn't fall and die to their death. But there were zip lines, and we were doing some kind of I don't know, it was like a battle or something. We were trying to get rid of stowaways that were trying to get on our ship through zip lines. And it was kind of weird. It was very dark. There was no sun, no moon, nothing. It was just... It's weird because in that projection, the light came out of our own chest. It was almost as though there was no sun anymore when you got to a higher... It was way up there. Anyways. But I never really know I'm about to astral project. I do look forward every day to seeing something. So a lot of times I'll talk to my guides or my angels, or I'll pray or meditate, what have you. It's all the same thing. I'll come to a state of mind where I need to hurry up. I gotta be working 15 minutes. I'll go to a state of mind where I'm like, okay, I anticipate the next vision. I never say I want to know answers, or because a lot of times when you are intentional about what you want, or you're setting the intention, the constituents that respond to you will always give you a lesson to learn. I always talk about when I first went to the astral plane and I begged for it. I was like, please, I want to go. I want to know answers now. What happened was Sure, I was transported to the astral plane, but I lost my breath literally in the physical consciousness now. I lost my breath. It was like, I woke up and I couldn't breathe, really. It was like gasping for air. And they were saying that, that's what you ask for, that's what you get. Because, the astral plane literally has a physical effect on your body. And if the elements are different, the magnetopauses are different, the pole shifts here and the pole shifts that reflect out there, if they don't align in our 3D, third density, even fifth density body. It just, you can't be on an astral plane and exist in this, or on this earth. They don't work. So a lot of times we astral project into a sub-astral plane, a vision that will train you to learn how to guide yourself on those planes. And then essentially, I think when this show kicks off and the veil drops, then we'll be able to literally like astral project to many different astral planes. To my understanding, I think there was 12. It's a weird thing to explain, but if you guys didn't know, there are 3 heavens, and there's 12 levels that kind of divide itself evenly between those 3 heavenly planes. So that's why essentially in my mindset, I never think that that there's a hell for people who dwell into darkness. I don't think that. I think when you really intend evil on someone's life and you want to take out someone's life, yeah, there's some karmic hell to pay. There's some torment and things like that. But it makes me think like, if we weren't like that in our past lives, if that existed, then we wouldn't be going through this right now. A lot of us would be, onto something else if that wasn't our past then. So wrapping this up, astral projection. A lot of times people will apply sleep paralysis. I hate it. Every time when sleep paralysis comes on, the more you get it, the more you start to understand how scary it is. Because what happens is, I don't really know if it's something dark that is harvesting on you or wanting to enter your body, but what I know is, in order to get to an astral projection where you're put somewhere to visualize something, or to consciously know what's happening while you're in your sleep state, you have to pass through the fourth dimensional energy, the fourth entities, you know what I mean? So, with that said, sleep paralysis does happen if you have attachments on you, because those attachments are anchoring you to 2 different sides. Like, let's say you went out drinking the night before. Why is that always my example? And then today you didn't drink, but then you went to bed, then you had an astral projection, then you had sleep paralysis. Well, because you drank and you put yourself in a subconscious state of mind, the spirit's attached to that. Music vibrates you to a certain consciousness when you drink. That's why they have the clubs and the bars and everything, to keep you like lucid, and it's like a conscious lucid living. So when you have that, you're anchored to that, and you're also anchored into the light, but you're sleeping. So when you're split into 2 sides, that's the sleep paralysis. It paralyzes you to keep you anchored here on this earth, because your astral body, your light, your ley lines have an opposition. So it's almost like when you have 2 negative magnets, you know how they repulse itself? They don't want to stick together. Or is it 2 positives as well? They don't want to stick together. No, it's 2 negatives. I'm smart. I know this. They repulse. They can't. They repel each other. Anyways, so that's like part one. I'll get more into how to astral project later on today when I get home. That's going to be fun because I know how to do it. But you really have to safeguard yourself. If ever you guys want to try this stuff, you have to safeguard. And I think that's why I feel a little bit more comfortable to start getting into this stuff now and start putting my channel in that direction of the spirit world, identifying the spirit world and the terminology. I don't think anyone's really like, I know some people, they tell you what to do, but they don't really coach you on how they coach themselves safely. Anyways, have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care.